Who are they, the foreign investors? How easy is to do business in Kazakhstan? What investment projects are being implemented? What areas of Kazakhstan's economy are attractive for investment? Watch business opportunities on Kazakh TV and meet successful foreign investors working in Kazakhstan. Construction of electric locomotive assembly plant in Kazakhstan is recognized as one of the strategic investment projects. The development of high-tech production in the country is a strong step toward economic diversification. Thus, it's no wonder that Kazakhstan's national railway company Kazakhstan Joly is directly involved in the project. Besides them, the project's implementing partners are Russia's engineering company Transmash Holding and the world's largest manufacturer of electric locomotives, French company Alstom, which owns 50% of shares in the project as of this year. Cooperation with the global leader in the field of transport engineering has helped attract a significant amount of foreign direct investments and ensured the transfer of modern technologies. The representative of the French partner company, Bernard Pillier, the CEO of Alstom CIS, manages the factory located in the special economic zone titled the Industrial Park of Astana. He gladly invited us for a brief tour of the plant.
So now we are done with a few paperwork and it's time to go to the shop where the works really take place. So always be compliant with the safety protocol. So welcome to our factory. This is the workshop where we generate most of the added value of the company, and I will take you for a tour and explain you a little bit what we do. So this is a brand new plant. It has been inaugurated in 2012. It's been a joint cooperative investment between three companies, Kazakh TV, Joly, Alstom and Transmash Holding. And the plant has been put into service in 2013 and now it's running to produce locomotives.
The plant manufactures freight and passenger locomotives KZ-8A and KZ-4AT. It is the latest generation of engines specially designed by Alstom upon the order of Kazakhstan Joly. They are cost-effective, reliable and can operate in extreme weather conditions at temperatures between -50 and +50 degrees Celsius. A freight locomotive is able to carry 9,000 tons of cargo at a speed of 120 km per hour, and the passenger electric train can accelerate to 200 km per hour. Kazakhstan has not anything like this before.
Все хорошо? Да? Problem нету? Okay, so here we are in the preparation of the body shell. It's the final stage and the shell is almost finished and we'll go for painting soon and will really look like a locomotive. So we are done with the body shell assembly shop and now we are going to move to the painting shop. So here the product is under preparation. All the painters will give all the final colors. It will be finished today. So you have seen our painting facility. The company now is running at a locomotive section every 4 or 5 days. And we are now in the company about 470 people and we expect to go up to 600 within a year from now. So you have seen now a little piece of the process. So now we are going to move to something much more, I would say, important and interesting, and you will see what is really a locomotive looking like.
Alstom is developing other activities in Kazakhstan, and in addition to manufacturing of electric locomotives, a plant in Almaty produces electric turnouts, which are essential for modernization of transport infrastructure. According to the agreement, Kazakh Railways will receive 10,000 actuators in the next several years.
So at the beginning, the investment was done to produce locomotives, freight and passenger. And then, since end of 2014, we have decided to go into further business. So first one was the development of service activity to maintain the fleet of our locomotives. But most important is to launch a new investment in producing what we call onboard transformer. It's a high technology that we are going to start to produce early 2017. So basically all what you see here will be moved and will leave the place for new technology of design manufacturing of onboard transformer, not only for Kazakh product but for CIS and a worldwide market. So we leave now this place of cabling and electronics, and then where we are going to see what's really inside a locomotive.
The company has a vast export potential, the top management believes. In addition to geographical position of the plant, gives tangible competitive advantages for deliveries to the countries of Central Asian region and the entire Eurasian continent. Localization of the production reduces the final cost of the locomotives and as a consequence, increases the company's export capacities.
So that's our first product for export, which is a locomotive for Azerbaijan. It's a freight locomotive, so we are very proud of it because it's our first export contract. And this locomotive will be delivered most likely in the second quarter of 2017.
Within the next 3 years, the company will supply Azerbaijan with 40 freight locomotives and 10 passenger trains.
We plan to produce with a maximum capacity of 50 per year. This is why this investment has been created, not only for domestic market, but as well, as I said before, for export. So we are looking forward to push this activity, make much more business for this locomotive market, not only in Kazakhstan, but Azerbaijan, other countries like maybe Georgia, Uzbekistan, and why not somewhere else as well over the world. In parallel, as I said before, we are developing in terms of investment the onboard transfer business. This should be an investment which will be most likely around 20 million euros. To produce onboard transformers, not only for locomotive but as well for any type of rolling stock product, and this should start most probably January, February 2017. So why don't you move with me into the locomotive? It's much more interesting to see in there. When we started to investigate in, I would say, CIS area, where could be our landing point, at that time, for sure, there was need a bit about everywhere in this area for locomotives. Because most of the locomotives today are running out of age, existing one need to be replaced, so market is there for sure in the next 10, 15, 20 years. When we first addressed this issue in 2010, it was a time as well where Kazakh TV Joly decided to renew part of the fleet, not only diesel but as well electric locomotives, and we had the opportunity, Alstom, Holding, Kazakh TV Joly and Kazakh, to sign a contract for 295 locomotives.
The value of contract on manufacturing of electric locomotives in Kazakhstan is more than €1 billion. It is a promising investment project for Alstom.
Being, I would say, the only manufacturer of e-locomotive in Central Asia, gives us a very good position to access to this market. So Kazakh government to support their local industry. We belong to this local industry, and we are very pleased to have this support to help us grow to facilitate at the first the sale of our products, but as well the development of the company, because this creates not only jobs but as well surrounding environment that creates jobs through suppliers that are providing us goods to produce locomotives.
The company pays a particular importance to the professional growth of its employees, their skill in mastering new technologies. The best employees in the company are usually noted and awarded diplomas and memorable gifts.
So we are finishing with our visit of the shop. We are going back to the office to take care of other issues. It's very important to follow up on daily basis the activity of the factory and make sure that all plannings and quality, I would say, requirements are well being followed and applied.
Deputy General Director Andrei Yershov has joined the project since the early days of the plant's launch. He has studied the production process thoroughly and knows almost every employee of the company by their first name.
Так, ну у нас по программе на сервис должно было зайти сегодня.
Today we're scheduled to receive 6 locomotives for maintenance work. We'll see if it's true. Kuzmich, Sergey, open up. Kuzmich, do you remember, when we just started, we used to spend a day or two on diagnostics and repair. How many hours do we spend now?
Рабочих часов сколько?
На сегодняшний день мы планируем отдать 3 локомотива.
Today we're planning to return 3 locomotives. They came in yesterday for repair at 15. Today at 17 they will be gone already. So we spent less than 6 hours on every locomotive. Great, that's great. In November 2013, the company commissioned its first mainline freight locomotive, and in November 2015, the first passenger electric locomotive was fully assembled in Kazakhstan. Since then, the plant has produced more than 30 freight and 10 passenger locomotives. Here at this assembly section, the locomotives pass regular inspections and undergo minor repairs. We finished touring the inspection site where maintenance service is carried out. Now we'll go back to where the locomotives are manufactured, the most interesting place in our factory. We'll start with welding shop. It creates a basis for the locomotive. It's the body, the frame-bearing part, which then locates all the equipment. What can I say? It is better if you see it for yourself. This is our industrial director, Pierre Bukhanich. He'll tell you more about how our locomotives are manufactured. Pierre Bukhanich is responsible for all business processes. He supervises everything that happens on the factory floor, constantly checking the schedule of masters and line managers.
So this is, we are in car body workshop. Every day with Gennady, I'm manager of this car body. We do a review of the plan, mainly. This is what we review, mainly plan, milestone. Do we achieve the milestone? Do we have any problem? Okay, we have here a kind of what we call EPSIS board. This is a lean manufacturing process of Ikaze. This is where we put all the problem of the workstation. So Gennady established the micro plan and he follows this plan to make sure that he executes the work as per the plan. So this is the main position where we start building the car body, the main car body. We have made some sub-assembly everywhere in this line, and then we start assembling all that together. So we are here in front of the car body, which is finished, terminated. We need about 1,400 hours to do this object. So this is the main car body, which after will go for painting. To have a good quality, to deliver this locomotive, to have a very good finishing aspect, is that the sides should be flattened. So this is a very important part of the process where we have a magnet where we hit the sides. This is all the spots you see here, and we make sure that the side walls are perfectly plan, perfectly flat. So when it will be painted, it will be a very good aspect, very good feeling. So we are here inside the car body, so it's only metal. After it will be full of equipment, full of machines. This is the cabin where the driver will sit. And behind here will be what we call the machine room. It seems very big, but when it will be finished, you will have only this part where I am standing now, who will be possible to walk. On the right and on the left, it will be full of electronic equipment. Here we have the roof. So on each section, one locomotive is made by 2 sections. We have 3 roofs. So it is 6 roofs per locomotive. So the roofs are done here. Very, very delicate part to do. One of the most complex with the cabin. Very low tolerance. We have to be very accurate. Tolerance is around 1 millimeter. So we should not deviate from 1 millimeter from the design measure of the part itself. So here we are in the station for roof. So this is where we build the roof. The roof we have seen in the car body was done with, it is painted now. And Ulpan is responsible of this workstation where we fit the roof, meaning that, as you can see, we put all equipment on the roof. Okay, so here in this position we have already installed the insulation because this locomotive should support up to -50, and we have installed all the cables. So everything must be installed according to an order. It has been defined by the technologue how we should install in which order, and we follow this order. We cannot install it the way we want. It's not possible because it's as a puzzle. Every part takes the place of another one.
After the installation of electrical equipment, it goes through high voltage and low voltage tests at a dielectric station. This is a prerequisite for the safe operation of the most powerful locomotives in the world.
So we are inside the body of the locomotive. You remember we have seen it in the car body. It was empty, and this is now full. We have here and there all the electronic equipment to give power to the locomotive. It's in the testing phase. We are in the dielectric station. It's almost finished, 70% finished.
In addition to outstanding technical characteristics as well as the availability of automatic driving systems and cruise control, the locomotives are very comfortable. Climate control, heated seats and heated floors are available at the driver's cabin.
So I'm inside the cabin. The cabin is where the driver will drive the locomotive. This is a cabin for 2 people with full comfort. We have microwave, we have refrigerator inside. It's of course resistant to the extreme cold, so there is heating inside this cabin, fully computerized, and we can follow remotely all the problems of the locomotives.
So, welcome back to the office.
Bernard Pele proudly displays in his office the miniature models of high-speed trains and innovative modern trams, which Alstom manufactures worldwide.
So as an illustration of what we are doing in Alstom, you have a few models of our, I would say, portfolio. The first one is what we've made interview in. I mean, the passenger locomotives for Kazakhstan. This is a product running up to 200 kilometers per hour. You can see as well here a very nice tramway that is being used currently in the city of Montpellier in France. Behind we have one of our biggest contracts actually in France as well, which is the Train Express Régional, which is EMU, DMU. And then here you can see a sample, a little short sample of very high-speed train being used as well in France. I will end up by the last one, which is the sample of the train that broke the world speed record in France in 2007 with a speed of 574.8 kilometers per hour. So just to give you an insight of what we in Alstom are able to do and provide to our customers. So to say a few words about Alstom, Alstom is a company of 32,000 people. We are active in 70 countries around the world, and our, I would say, strategy is very clear, is to be always the preferred supplier for our customer. We have been coming here in Kazakhstan 5 years ago through the signature of a contract of locomotive. We decided at that time to get 25% of share of our joint venture Okaze that you have visited today. And lately, early 2016, we have acquired another 25% of this JV. so which brings us to 50% as a major shareholder of the company. We represent today as business in Kazakhstan around 1 to 2% of the turnover. Nevertheless, Kazakhstan is now one of the, I would say, around 20 industrial sites of Alstom, and has, I would say, the potential to become a major player in Alstom, because locomotive solutions and onboard transformers will be developed here, produced here.
The strategic investment project of the French company Alstom and the national company Kazakhstan Joly not only ensures renovation of all locomotives in Kazakhstan, but also develops the country's export potential. Locomotives manufactured in Astana will soon be running on both sides of the Caspian Sea and on the whole territory of the Eurasian continent.